Welcome, everyone. Today we're diving deep into the story of one of the toughest, grittiest, and most authentic football players you'll find in the college game today, Skattebo. His journey isn't one of flash or fame, but of fire. It's a story built on sweat, scars, and a heart that refuses to quit. In a world where athletes are often measured by stars and statistics, Cam's story is a reminder that greatness is not something you're given. It's something you earn, play after play, hit after hit, year after year. Born and raised in Rio Linda, California, Cam didn't grow up with all the advantages or the spotlight that follows blue-chip recruits. There was no silver spoon, no viral highlight reel that suddenly made him a national sensation. What he had was something rarer: relentless work ethic, self-belief, and a quiet determination that burned in his chest long before the rest of the country learned his name. He was raised in a community that valued grit and perseverance. People who understood that hard work isn't glamorous, but it's powerful. And Cam took that lesson with him into everything he did. At Rio Linda High School, Cam became more than just a football player. He became a local legend. His style was violent yet controlled, passionate yet disciplined. He didn't just run the ball, he attacked defenders. His ability to turn nothing into something made him the kind of player coaches dream about. He wasn't afraid to take hits. In fact, he welcomed them. He turned contact into momentum, pain into pride. During his senior year, he put up one of the most remarkable seasons in California high school football history. Over 3,500 rushing yards and 48 touchdowns. He led Rio Linda to its first ever state championship, carrying his team, quite literally, on his back. But even with those numbers, the big-time schools didn't come calling. Recruiters questioned his size, his speed, his level of competition. They said he was too small, too raw, not fast enough for Division I. Those doubts would have crushed some players. For Cam, they only fueled the fire. Every no became motivation. Every dismissal became a reason to push harder. He didn't care about validation. He cared about proof. Proof that heart, when matched with hustle, could overcome anything. That's what made his next move so important. Instead of giving up, Cam found a home at Sacramento State, a program that believed in potential, not pedigree. From day one, he brought the same ferocity that defined his high school career. He ran like every yard was personal, every down an opportunity to prove people wrong. At Sac State, his play spoke volumes, and soon, the entire FCS world was listening. By his sophomore year, he was unstoppable. He rushed for over 1,300 yards, averaging more than 7 yards per carry, earning the Big Sky Conference Offensive Player of the Year award. He became the engine that powered the Hornets' offense, helping lead them to a conference championship and national recognition. But what stood out even more than the numbers was the way he played. Fearless, physical, and full of emotion. He was the player who celebrated his teammates more than himself, who played through pain without hesitation, who brought energy to every locker room, every sideline, every huddle. His game was defined by balance and brutality. He could bulldoze linebackers and then break free for 40 yards on the next play. He wasn't the biggest back, but his strength was elite, a product of years of lifting, grinding, and pushing past his limits. He was the kind of runner who turned a routine 3-yard gain into a highlight just by refusing to go down. There was poetry in his persistence. But Cam's story wasn't finished. After dominating the FCS, he decided it was time to test himself against the best, to step into the bright lights of Power 5 football. So he transferred to Arizona State University, a program undergoing major changes under new leadership. It was a bold move, a challenge that would demand even more from him. But if there's one thing Skattebo never feared, it was a challenge. From the moment he arrived in Tempe, his impact was immediate. Coaches noticed his maturity, his work ethic, his leadership. He didn't talk about what he'd done at Sac State. He showed it. Teammates saw how he practiced, how he studied film, how he encouraged others to rise with him. And when the games began, it was clear that the Pac-12 stage wasn't too big for him. He ran with the same reckless abandon, the same chip on his shoulder, and the same determination that had gotten him this far. Every carry told a story. Every hit said something about who he was. Cam became the heart of Arizona State's offense, not just for his production, but for his energy. When ASU struggled, he never sulked. When adversity hit, he stepped up. Whether it was powering through the line for a clutch first down or catching passes in the flat, he gave everything he had. Fans noticed his physicality, but also his versatility. He wasn't just a bruiser. He was a complete football player. One of the most remarkable things about Cam is his football IQ. He doesn't just play the game. He studies it, understands it, feels it. He knows when to cut, when to wait, when to trust his blockers. He reads defenses like a veteran. And when plays break down, his instincts take over. He's the type of player who can improvise and still turn chaos into success. That's not something you can teach. That's something you're born with, something you sharpen through experience, and something that defines great football minds. Off the field, Cam Skattebo carries himself with the same grounded humility that he shows on it. He's proud of his roots, proud of the journey that made him. He doesn't forget where he came from. The long practices, the overlooked recruiting letters, the small-town field where his dream began. He often speaks about faith, family, and focus, the three things that have guided him through every obstacle. He's a reminder that even in today's age of social media hype and nil deals, there are still players who play the game for pure love. And that's what makes him so relatable. Cam is the kind of player fans connect with, the kind of player who makes them believe that heart can still triumph over hype. Every time he steps on the field, he represents every athlete who's ever been told they're not good enough. Every overlooked recruit, every doubted dreamer, every player grinding in silence. They see themselves in him. But Cam's influence goes beyond football. He's a leader in the locker room, a motivator in practice, and a mentor to younger players. He takes time to talk to teammates who are struggling. He leads by example, not just with his words, but with his consistency. Coaches describe him as the glue guy, the one who holds everyone together when things get tough. And in football, that kind of player is priceless. As the years go by, whether he finds his way into the NFL or another chapter of life, one thing will never change: the essence of who Cam Skattebo is. He's the player who turned doubt into drive, the one who turned obstacles into opportunities, the one who played with passion so raw and authentic that it reminded people why they fell in love with the sport in the first place. His legacy will not just be written in yards and touchdowns, but in lessons about perseverance, humility, and the value of believing in yourself even when the world doesn't. Cam's story proves that greatness doesn't always come from the biggest stage or the loudest spotlight. Sometimes it comes from the quiet moments, when you're tired, sore, and overlooked, but you keep fighting anyway. Because that's who Cam Skattebo is. A fighter, a believer, a grinder, a leader, and above all, a man whose story will continue to inspire those who understand that football, at its core, is about heart. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this extended tribute to Cam Skattebo, a player who defines toughness, humility, and the pure love of the game, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories about athletes who rise from humble beginnings to carve their own path to greatness.